All right, hello everyone. I'm Vertz, and I'm here with SolarCell. How you doing, Solar?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing tonight, Vertz?
Doing well, thanks. Also joined by Mr. Freed. How you doing, Mr. Freed?
I'm doing well.
Great, and we are here with a race of Donald Duck, no Mahou, no Boushi. This is an adventure that Donald Duck goes on to save a magical kingdom. So we're gonna learn a new speed run and improve it, hopefully. And this game is super goofy and super fun. And Mr. Freet will be able to talk about all the things that make it cool and interesting, because he's a master as well. But Solar and I will be racing this tonight. I think we are good to go. So Solar, if you want to reset your console.
Yep, let's reset right now.
And Mr. Freet, if you want to count us down.
Yep, let me both know when you're able to start it.
Ready.
Both good?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
Go luck, Vertz.
Good luck,
Good luck.
Solar.
Okay, so Donald, the first thing we have to do in this is we need to get $300, and there's a choice of 4 levels. We picked 2 because it adds up exactly to 300, and the first one we'll start with is Windows. This is one of the more interesting levels in the run. You're supposed to just clean 25 windows. It sounds simple, but there's tech involved to speed up the cleaning, and there's also a glitch that hopefully we'll be utilizing with this plane that spawns. You can try and clean a window while the wind from the plane is pushing you, and you'll notice that you get a half clean window and a full clean window. So the game adds a sprite on top of another sprite, which allows us to clean windows faster. It's not that much faster than just going through the level, but it is faster. The only way up some of these floors is to use the elevator, which can be a pain, but there are somewhat ways up. So ideally you want to try and do this ladder glitch until around 3 windows, and then you can just clean up top. So it's pretty difficult to do because as soon as you hear the final squeak on the first clean window, you have to jump very quickly and time when to push the button. Solar just finishing up now.
Get me out of that.
So the second level.
Get me out of
So the second level is a time trial. It's a pretty simple, short level. You just want to make your way from one side of the room to the other. This game has different kind of things inside of it. It's not just the same every level. Most are pretty much the same, just kind of platforms. But the game kind of mixes it up, which is nice for the run. Almost made it over there.
I want you to look at Vertz's screen for a little bit. I'm freaking out.
Please don't.
We'll see how his time trial goes. Hi 30, don't. That level doesn't really cost you much time. It's not that dangerous. It's kind of a chill, quick level. This third level, however, Clock Tower, is probably the most heavy execution. There's these pegs, we call them, that you have to jump on, and then as soon as you jump on them, you want to jump off them to get maximum momentum. And those wheels at the bottom of the screen, you really don't want to stand on them, because if you stand on them for about half a second, it'll spawn ghosts, which makes the game lag, and they also are kind of in annoying locations. These things that we travel across, you really want to go on them backwards. It saves just a little bit of time. This is a dangerous level. Usually when you get hit in this game, it's about a second time loss, so it's not too bad, but not making some of these jumps can cost quite a bit of time. The ladders as well are pretty interesting. You can...
no!
That is the other thing about Clock Tower. It is a climb, and with a climb you can fall. There are a couple of tricks here. Right there with Solar, there's a very, very tight trick that can save a couple of seconds, but it's approaching the third level. This is generally the hardest floor out of the 4 to actually do. Solo making his way to everyone's favorite level with everyone's favorite boss, the village boss.
Don't lie to the people.
The level,
Freet.
the level itself is not so bad, but the boss that comes at the end of it is the first pretty heavy RNG point. I'll talk about him a bit before we get there. It can basically do 4 different things, and we don't want to see 2 of them. And he can do those 4 different things in 3 locations, and we don't want to see anything in 1 location. So it's a fun boss.
What am I doing?
I just hear sound effects. I'm like, good.
I got that. It's all right. So yeah, he can come out of any of these 3 barrels, and you really want him to come out of the left or the middle, and you don't want to see spikes. That's no fun. You need to hit every boss in this game 5 times, though sometimes it can be 6 due to weirdness that we don't fully understand. So that other one there on the left side, he can bob his head out and then quickly go back in. That's the other attack that... I say attack, it's the other move that we don't want to say.
I'd call that a Vertz village boss.
Nah.
See how Vertz out.
You got your wish.
Oh my god.
He's getting a bit.
Oh my
Ooh,
God.
dear. So this is what the village boss can do. He can mess you around a bit. Oh, is that 5 in a row? Okay. Oh no.
Never mind, Vertz got the
Yeah.
Vertz village boss.
I'm sorry.
This is barrel
I'm
boss.
sorry. This is bad.
Solo's
Oh my
making his way to the race. This level's pretty straightforward. You got to be careful. The rabbit that's chasing you, if he actually catches up to you, he'll punch you and knock you down. And at that point, it's very easy to actually lose the race. But it's pretty straightforward. No RNG, but the jumps right here onto these 4 little snow rooftops. That was very nicely done. It's pretty difficult and it can cost seconds. And there we have the village boss down.
GG Vertz.
Yeah, it can do that. That's why we love that boss.
Love is a strong word.
So I didn't mention that when we actually do the village boss, you get a choice of 4 levels, and most runners just do them in the order. Do the race and then this mountain level, which is a very dangerous level. You don't want to fall on this level. It can actually just send you straight to the beginning. There are multiple routes through, but this is the fastest. Thankfully, this tough level has a pretty simple, easy boss towards the end of it, but this trick here, where we damage boost through the bird and then make it to that leaf, is very dangerous. There's good rooftops as well from Vertz. So this boss, he drops the hammer, and you really don't want him to pick up that hammer. So we're going to try and hit him 6 times. Or is it 7 times?
I might have got a weird bounce on one of them.
Yeah, I think
I think it's 6 normally.
if he picks up that hammer, it's bad news. He can just start. I don't know. I can't remember exactly what he does, but
He starts destroying the floor.
oh, that's it. And it can cost like
Takes
20 seconds.
forever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty crazy. All right, my favorite level, the Crystal Cave. It's pretty laid back, nice music, but some of these jumps onto these platforms are pretty tricky to get.
It's not.
But it's mostly straightforward. Bits of lag reduction, jumping at optimal times. That clean jump there through that gap. It's pretty difficult to do. How's the mountain boss going to go for Vertz? People have different ways to optimally try and take care of this boss. Like different visuals. That was a pretty good jump. So that jump over that skeleton mirror, if you jump too high, you'll create a lot of lag. For some reason, when Donald falls inside of his jump animation, it creates lag. This is probably the simplest boss in the run. You want to stand still, because when you're moving about, these crystals don't fall. And you basically want to try and manipulate him into getting hit by these crystals. He moves opposite how you do. So if you go left, he'll go right. If you jump up, he'll move down. Pretty good boss fight.
Yeah, I'll take that anytime.
You can just crouch underneath him and then hold down, and the crystals will drop on his head. It's not even that much slower. It's a pretty simple fight. Alright. Solar's favorite level, my least favorite level. I don't know if this is Solar's level, but I think it was you who found this vine.
The fastest way for the vine, but not the vine itself.
So there's a skip there that you can try and damage boost onto that vine. I think it saves about 20 seconds, but if you don't get it, there's a backup here. If you can time that jump, it's a pretty tricky jump. There we go. Basically skip like 50% of the level. So it's a pretty interesting level, but it's tough in the run. It's followed by a very tough boss.
Weird mechanic for a level too.
A very weird mechanic. So this boss has a kind of interesting mechanic. So this platform that we're on, this circular platform, is moving and you can't really control it. So if it's moving one way, you can't fight against it. So here Solar got some hits and he's running around as the planet's shrinking. It's very difficult to explain what's going on, but the platform moves in a specific way and you need to try and deal the damage to the boss as quickly as possible. There's some tech to really save some time, but it's extremely difficult, and if you don't do it, you lose about 20 seconds. So, Unforgiving Level, but an interesting one. This is a semi-interesting run level, even though it is just an auto-scroller, because it's kind of scary. Because if you mess up, you die.
How about we not talk about the ways you can die on this level?
There are several.
I haven't talked about Donald's movement. You can walk, or you can hold the Y button to run, but Donald doesn't run immediately. There's a bit of time you have to give before he gains his sprint momentum, and getting that sprint momentum when you don't want it, when you're jumping from cloud to cloud on this level, can just outright kill you. So you have to be careful with your jumps. And if you don't walk enough to make a jump on two of these jumps, you'll die. But other than that, it's straightforward. Not really any enemies that get in your way. There's some clouds that if you get in front of, they'll kind of push you back and knock you down for about 3 seconds. So it's dangerous.
Or they just kill you. Because they knock you down for 3 seconds.
And that cloud there that Solar went under, people have different ways of getting around it. And it's dangerous.
You're just a cloud murderer freak. Don't say people. You're the one that does that crazy stuff.
Yeah, okay, I'm the one that does something different. I kill the cloud. Everyone else lets it live.
Alright. My heart rate can start coming down now.
Once you get to this bit, you're pretty much done with the level. There's just one scary little thing. This spotlight's going to go on, and then as the spotlight comes down, Solar's going to walk off the edge about halfway as it gets down, just to hit the trigger at the end of the level as early as possible. If you get it too early, you have to go all the way back to the beginning of the level. So you don't want to hit that too early. Overall, Castle 1, overall this is probably the scariest level in the run, just because of how easy it is to not get some of these jumps. These platforms can kind of mesmerize you, but you have to jump on. And literally everyone has a different way of doing those platforms, because it is a very comfort thing. Because if you lose where you are, it's very hard to recover. And it's the same thing with this vertical platform section. So whenever you jump on a platform that isn't orange, you'll walk to the other side of the room on the same colored platform. So jumping here is vital. On some jumps, you'll want to have run speed, some you don't. And again, people have usually 2 different paths through this room with not much time difference. My least favorite boss here, the juggler. He has 3 different patterns he can do: a short cycle, a medium cycle, and a long cycle. You can determine the difference of a short and a medium cycle. We've had 2 mediums there. That was a short one. But the medium and long, you can't see the difference until it's too late. And you really want to try and go for the hit.
Oh, you're a dirty liar.
Like that. So you went for the short cycle hit, but it didn't happen. It's just one of those things where you just kind of have to go for it.
You jerk.
Right, but it's making his way through Castle 1.
It's a heavy
Jumped too
exhale.
early.
No.
Yeah, that was a...
too early.
Yeah, you only have a short amount of time to jump on these platforms
Yeah, it's
when you're on them.
it's
They're very small.
surprisingly deceiving. Even when you think you're still on the platform, if you're on the very far right, it just feels impossible to get a jump off.
And if you jump on the platform and you're on the far left, you won't make it to the platform you want to make it on, and it causes issues. But Solar's on the last auto-scroller. This is the most boring level in the run, in my opinion. Not much goes on. You can't really... It's just don't get hit by the spikes. The main concern is lag management and reduction of trying to time your jumps and get certain jumps, because if you jump when a lot of things are going on, you'll just create a lot of lag. There's only really one trick that can save like half a second. You can actually stand in between all these sets of teeth if your position is, but it's you do have to have a pretty good position. All right, how's the juggler going to go for Vertz? Hopefully we don't see any long cycles. I don't think you got any Solar, right? Just
I think the first one was a long cycle.
that was a long one for Vertz. And coming up after this auto-scroller is the hardest boss in the game, because it's a lot of execution and a lot of RNG. If you get good RNG, there's no execution near enough. But it's very hard to explain this boss. You want to see that wind-up punch. And Solar's going in and out of a range to change his AI to increase the chances of getting a wind-up punch. But he has to be very careful, because the kangaroo can quick punch if he is very close to him, and the timing of it is random. So 6 hits, I think, on this guy. You can just get wind-up punch after wind-up punch, but he can do this right here where he's just refusing, and he's
good. I mean,
he's a fun
First,
boss.
you got some time back on that one.
I don't know if it's
Trolled a
gonna matter. To be honest.
Final level. This level's pretty straightforward, except the end has a not a tight jump, but it's one of those. If you don't jump correctly, you'll just fall and you won't make the big jump. Right here, off that platform and onto that peg, and there we go. Dark Pete, 2-stage boss fight. The first phase, you want to hit him 5 times on the head, but you don't want to see. He can attack with this spell. These 2 orbs. You don't want to see it though, because he'll destroy the platform and it creates lag. Hit him 5 times, sometimes 6, and you'll fall to the second phase. Same deal, hit this guy on the head 5 or 6 times. Depending on your execution, you can hit him a different amount of times depending on where his hands moves. And there we go.
Nice,
that was a very good
GG.
Dark Pete. If you fall off Dark Pete's hands, it's catastrophic.
It really
Because
is.
getting back up is very difficult. GG on that.
Solid 17-14. Yeah, nice. It's a good time.
Let's see what the kangaroo does for you, Vertz. There's the quick punch. So the timing of
Instant.
that is random. And
Instant.
another quick one. Though if you manage to evade the quick punch, it's good. That was a very nice kangaroo. Towards
like
the
I
middle and
deserve-
end.
I earned that one. The rest of the
Yeah, I
run
think the
was
difference on their fights was like 10 seconds, and it's like it's a nasty little boss. But it was kind of fun figuring out, because we didn't realize at first that his AI changes based on whether you cross his barrier that he has. So it was like completely crazy before that.
This
Just
game
didn't make any sense.
This game as a whole was a lot of fun, because
Mhm.
like the original world record when we got to this game was 19 minutes flat, and then everybody in the community who played it broke it down, came up with strats for certain levels, and we're down in the low 16s now for world record. So
I think the only levels that weren't improved really were the auto-scrollers because of their very nature. But even the second one was improved just a little bit with additional knowledge.
And time.
GG.
Thank you.
Yeah, didn't fall on Dark Pete, nice.
Yeah. The one place I didn't fall. Cool, yeah. Yeah, thank you all for having us. This is a super fun game. You know, all kinds of nonsense can happen. Like you can get 5 really short cycles on the village boss, and you know, just keep going. It's a short enough run. You can just make it happen. But yeah, thank you for racing me again, Solar. I appreciate it.
Thanks for suggesting this as a race. Appreciate it, Vertz.
And thanks as always, Mr. Freet, for commentary. We
No worries.
appreciate you and your knowledge and your voice.
It's definitely turned out to be a more interesting game than it initially looked.
Mm-hmm.
Well, of course. I mean, this game has this awesome singing track right here at the end.
All right. Are you gonna quack, Solar?
I think I will. I think I will quack for the people.
Do it.
Past midnight.
I'm almost there.
We're crazy enough for it. Quack.
I started my song. Out of sync. It's just so goofy.
The perfect game. It really is.
This is why you finish runs of this game. Wait for it. Whack. All right, we got it.
Yeah.
All right, thank you all again. I think we're good. Solar or Miss Freet, you have any final words here?
No, just GG's all around. I think we did a great job
Yeah,
showing this
yeah,
off.
GG's
If you have
to
interest
run.
in it, please contact us. We'd love to get you started
Yes.
on the run.
Yes, it's super fun.
Yeah. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you all.